Welcome everybody. This is our 2020 wild rice harvest drawing. We're doing everything virtual this year due to COVID, so bear with us and I hope you can embrace this new process. So I'll start out, I'll talk a little bit about the regulations and some other updates regarding locks and the gates, and then we'll move into some announcements for on John's behalf, and then we'll do the drawing following that. So to get us kicked off and started, in terms of our regulations, there are no changes from last year's regulations to this year in terms of our harvesting permits. Just to highlight a few things, because of COVID, we have waived the natural resources harvest permit for this particular ricing opportunity. You will, however, have a permit mailed to you, which is based off of your regulation or your the entry that you put in and you're submitted online or via hard copy at the Natural Resources Department office. So just to highlight a few things, so permittees may not switch lakes. However, after White Earth Natural Resources Department opens up the Lower Rice Lake in Clearwater County, then permittees may harvest on any refuge lake throughout the refuge once you already have a permit. And on that same note, after Lower Rice opens, anybody that did not get drawn today and has submitted their entry form, those entries will carry over so we can offer permits based on those entries after Lower Rice opens. And additionally, if you didn't get a chance to put in your entry form, you can submit it later on to be considered after Lower Rice opens, and we can get a permit sent out to you and work through that process. Some of the other regulations I just kind of want to highlight. So all ricing accesses and parking areas must be kept free of litter. The refuge has furnished combination locks that have been assigned to the rice access gates. All gates must return to a closed and locked position when entering and exiting the refuge trails. Combination locks, which are these ones, must be interlocked between the refuge master lock and one end of the chain in a manner that permits independent entry by all parties. So any missing locks or gates and vandalism must be reported. So just real quickly here, this is gonna be kind of loud. So when you get to the gate, you're gonna see our best or master lock on that gate. You're gonna see the combination lock. These gold combination locks are the ricing access locks. You'll type in these little dials, spin, you'll put in the combination code, which will be on your permit when you get it in the mail. And then the biggest thing to remember is lock to lock. So one end of the chain and then to our lock and then latch, and it will not close unless you change the dials. So once you change the numbers on the dial, then it'll actually secure and lock. So be sure to go lock to lock and one end of the chain, and then do not treat this as part of the chain. This just tethers the combination lock to our chain. So call me if you've got questions on that. I'll also be including a quick little card in with your permit that talks a little bit about the locks themselves. And continuing on with some of the highlights of the regs, ricing hours are from 7 to 3 p.m. daily. Boat, flail, and pull limitations shall conform to White Earth Tribal Conservation Code. And then another big hitter for us, or big concern for us, is preventative measures designed to control the spread of aquatic invasive species are required. So boats, trailers, push-pulls, and other ricing equipment must be free of aquatic vegetation, and all water must be drained from the boats before launching into refuge lakes. And so that's something that's near and dear to us, to keep our waters pristine. So we hope that you also will follow that regulation and help us keep our waters that way. So we've talked a little bit about the regs, we talked about the gates. Along that line, I will be going out on Friday, tomorrow, to update all of our combination locks and put them in sequence for folks so that they can get out and take a look at what their lakes that they've drawn, what's out there, and what they can look forward to harvesting. And something else of note is that on September 1st, it coincides with our waterfowl early goose season that opens up. We do open some of our locks. So you'll find Carmen and Two Island Gate, that lock will get moved, so you won't have to worry about accessing via the combination lock on Carmen and Two Island after September 1st, and same with on West Rice. West Rice is another gate that we move the lock or open that gate. So that's kind of the regs and the locks. In terms of what to expect next, this is a sample of the permit, so you guys will recognize this. This is what you put in online when you submitted your entry form. I will mail all of these to everybody. I'm hoping to have this out in the mail today or tomorrow morning. And so you'll see this. If you didn't provide a valid address on your entry form, which is crucial to getting this, we're going to try and call you and contact you to get that information. If you know that you didn't fill all of that information, go ahead and call Lita or I, and we'll update that info. But you will receive this permit. This will function as your permit that we always walked away with in years prior. And then I'll also include a lock note card as well that talks a little bit about that. And then we already kind of talked about what happens after Lower Rice opens. Again, if your entries were already put in and you're not drawn today, all that information will be saved, and we'll be able to use that to issue you a permit after Lower Rice opens. And additionally, if other folks didn't get a chance to put in their information by the deadline, then they can go in and do that. That link is still active. We can still collect that information. You can continue to send it to the Mahnomen office as well, or fax it on that information, or the information that was provided for that.
Let's start drawing. We're going to start with Mitchell Dam, Rice Lake. I got 25 boats on this lake. We had the most entries this year that we've ever had. I had 140 entries this year, and I'm got 85 boats that are going out on Tamarac. So let's get it going. I'm kind of rushed on time here. We only got so much time on the video. So we're going to do 25 boats for Mitchell Dam. I won't count them all out at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 10 at a time and then 5. 7, 8, 9, 10. First name, here we go. Dwayne Warren. Second name, John Parison. Third name, Donald Dakota. Fourth, Ronald Warren. Fifth, Jordan Bauer. Sixth, Gina Weaver. Leanne Holland. Holland. Okay. It's kind of spelled a little bit different, but. And Jarek Madigan. And we got Delmer. I have a hard time with this name. Vezda. Sorry about that. Oh, this must be a mistake. Dustin Roy. And Buddy Bunker. Wow, nice. Ed Levy. Robert Keyser Jr. And Joseph Thompson. Those are the first 10 out of 25. Let's do another 10. One, two,
John.
3,
10 more.
4, 5.
Do you want to crosswalk these between?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, number 11, David Keyser.
Or number 15. So that's number 15. That's the 15th name.
Oh, that's 15th name?
Yeah.
My bad.
It's all good.
Pam Parson.
That's him. That's Polish. This is the last one.
George Axtell. Gary Stevens. Rex Robertson Jr. Dayton Mankey.
Who's that?
Mankey.
M-A-K-E-Y.
Beverly Rogers.
Bev Rogers.
Carl Carl
Wadena? Wadena?
Yep, Wadena.
Wadena?
It's spelled different.
Brandon Bussey. And Walter Schramstead.
It's Rancid.
One more.
And last one, Mitchell Dam. Sandra Mertens.
There's two Gary Stevens.
Sandra what?
Mertens, M-E-R-T-E-N-S.
Okay.
There's two, that's why I kept the birthday.
You know, I didn't talk about Mitchell Dam. The rice is out there, looks really nice. It's still got the floating bog out there in the middle. The north end going up the river probably be the best. A lot of rice out there.
Okay.
Let's do Flat Lake, Cabin Point. I've seen Flat Lake better. The north end's fine. And then the northeast and northwest sides are both pretty good. You can still go in that axis and do the west side of Flat Lake when you come in Little Flat Lake Trail. It's your first right after you come down the trail. About 2-3 miles in.
Yeah, that's a long one.
It is a long one. And last time I was there when I was checking on the rice, at right there at the landing where they got a little parking area, I came across a big old black bear, chased him off into the woods, and I went into the woods to kind of see if I scared him up a tree, but he skedaddled. So we got 8 boats going on Cabin Point, Flat Lake.
I'm just gonna wait for the slips. I'm gonna make you read it very good better. I'm gonna wait.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Still both all right.
Did I?
7 and 8. Flat Lake Cabin Point. Oh, we got Bev Libby. Jeffrey Thompson. Tyson Mackey.
Mackie, M-A-K-E-Y.
Clarence Bolio. Suze Parson.
S-U-Z.
Julius Brown. Craig Bauer. And Dylan Burnett.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do a Little Flat next. Now this lake is loaded.
Oh.
I mean loaded.
Clowns.
I think I could put 40 boats on this lake, but the parking lot is so small. Hopefully with this rain we've gotten, it's put some more water in there so you can just roam around the whole part of Little Flat Lake. It's loaded with rice. So, I tell you what, I'm putting 20 boats on that lake. Oh, I got a stuck one here. Gotta be fair. Boats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just gonna draw them all. Let's go back and forth. $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, and $20. Okay, here's the lucky peeps. Zoe,
See it, yeah.
Raymond Dakota, Gordon Bellinger, Owen Annette, Andy Jack Oganash. That rolls off the tongue, don't it? I like that. Andy Jack.
And the others.
Jane Bellinger. Oh. Nathan Irie.
Owen and it.
Edward Dakota. Robert Thompson. Jeez, what I called Robert Thompson already? Mark Foster. Joyce Bellinger. Catherine Clark. Eric Redhorse. Nice. Gary Thompson.
No, he isn't called out.
William Heisler. Adam Sullivan. Brian Jackson. Aaron Keyser. James Libby Sr. Nice. And Jaden Heisler. And those were Little Flat. Let's move on to South Chip. South Chip looks good. I mean, it just looks like a normal racing season on South Chip. And I'm putting 5 boats on. Now, if you get drawn for any of these lakes, please show up and go racing, because it seems like I draw your names and I never see you there at the on the lake you got drawn on. So let's do 5 names here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. South Chip. 2 beautiful landings to put your boat in on South Chip. I love that picnic area. Joseph Heisler. Caitlin Davis Fine Day. Timothy Bloom. Teshana Libby. You get my drift. And Leonard Roy. Blackbird, for the amount of boats, there's plenty of race. Putting only 3 boats on Blackbird, that's just never been the same since the swan population has expanded. So I'm only putting 3 boats on Blackbird. 1, 2, 3. I mean, on Blackbird, you could go down the river a little ways, but don't get into Rice Lake, please. We got Ryan Madigan, Darcy Sayers, and John Annette Jr.
There's a buoy between those two.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a buoy. Once, if you get too far down Blackbird, there's a buoy, and turn your butt around and head back up. North Chip. Okay, North Chip, you could go in at the culvert, but it's a pain in the butt to get through all them cattails and reeds. So you gotta use the access down on the kind of the southeast side of the lake. I'd bring a canoe paddle with you, canoe over to the rice. There's a lot of rice there, but you're just gonna have to canoe over to it. You'll have plenty of rice here. I put 3 boats there.
We mowed the trail going north of Johnson Lake Trail. There's a gate there that's mowed for this access.
1, 2, 3. Randy Bellinger. Oh, them Bellingers, the whole clan's out. Merlin, Dakota. And Sandra St. Clair. Here's a good one. Carmen and Two Island. Carmen is always loaded. It's just hard to get to. I combined Carmen and Two Island together. Two Island looks as good as I've ever seen it. It's the whole shoreline's ringed with wild rice. And if you go on the other side of the islands, you can get in a channel and get over to Carmen. With this rain, that channel should be fuller with water, so it'll make it a little easier to get into Carmen. Or you could still go in the way coming in.
Egg Lake Trail.
Yep, Egg Lake Trail. You're gonna have to go over a little bit of bog, but then you're into Carmen. So I put 4 boats on them 2 lakes. You'll have a good time, and hopefully with this rain we've gotten, there's more water, so there's easier access to get into Carmen. So let's go to, Carmen. 4 boats. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Susan A. Hanks. Cliff Kroll. Daniel Dakota. And Gary Stevens Sr. Okay, we're gonna do Ogamash. That little river is always loaded. It seems like it's from shoreline to shoreline. Ogamash it's always loaded. A nice drive in there. You might have to drive around a couple trees. But I put 2 boats in there. 1, 2. Fawn Roy and Darcy Bellin. Oh, here's a nice one. Tamarac Lake. There's only really, you can go in where all the fishermen go into that access, but either do the north access or the south access on the Dike Road. Tamarac Lake is loaded on be the west side of the lake if you come in the north end. It's only a short little paddle to get into the rice bed, and there is a lot of rice along that west shoreline. And at the south end in that bay, that's loaded too. It's a little thinner, but there's a lot of it. And then there's a little kind of I call it a channel in between the two, and that's loaded too. And heck, I put 10 boats on there. That's the most I've ever put on that lake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, 10 votes on Tamarac. I got Stacy Weaver, Franklin Rogers, Richard W. Hanks Sr., Adriana Jackson, Ray Londo, Tim St. Clair, Carolyn Keir, Kevin Hanks, Andrew James Volio, and Gerald Mike Smith. Johnson Lake. I tell you, and hopefully it went. Man, the horse flies and mosquitoes at that landing were horrendous. Bring bug spray. But you're gonna get paid off because Johnson Lake has got a lot of rice on it. It's pretty near ring the whole way around. And if you go off to the southeast side where there's another bay, there's a lot of rice there. Putting 5 boats on there. And the lucky 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Last but not least, Leroy Wadena, Wesley Nealon, Donald Stevens Jr., Robert Goodman, and Gary Foster. Now, do not be disappointed if I didn't call your name. Because right next door is Hythaland Lake. Hythaland Lake is loaded as always. Can you go down the river at the dam to get onto, is that permissible? To go down the river from Rice Lake, the culverts go down into Hythaland?
You'd have to cross 126 anyways. You may as well just use the Hythaland landing. We already mow and maintain a landing on the north side.
Okay, do the landing on the north side. That's a good one. I've seen that stand a little bit better right there. A really good spot is on the outlet of the Otter Tail River. There's a little trail right there on the north side of the bridge there. Easy access. You're in a rice bed instantly. There's no bog. There's no nothing. This is easy pulling. It's in a lake. That whole west side is ringed with rice. The north side's ringed with rice. The northeast side is ringed with rice. So do not feel disappointed that you didn't get drawn. There's plenty of rice there. And Shell Lake too. There's a lot of rice on Shell Lake that, with easy driving. And that concludes the rice drawing for 2020. Be safe out there. I can't help you as much this year. You're gonna have to unload your own trucks, put them on the scale, and hand it to me on the trailer. It's just the way it is this year. I wish I could help you more than I'm gonna be able to, but it'll all be good. So we'll see you here in a couple weeks. Bye now.
All right, so lastly, this permit is what you'll get in the mail. If you don't get this in the mail, be sure to reach out to the Natural Resources Department office, Johnny or myself. We'll need to update those addresses, of course, but as a reminder, this permit is what is required to have in your possession with you during all harvesting activities. So watch for this in the mail. If you don't get it, let us know. Thank you so much.